Hello, everybody. This is just a quick review of some stuff I got as Christmas presents. These are a couple of attars from Abdul Karim Al Faransi. As you can see, so these are the half tola bottles. They're really quite pretty. Nice felt bottoms, gold caps with a nice glass dipstick for wearing, and the name of each type on these little tags. So there's been some other reviews of these, and I just thought I'd throw in a couple words, hopefully that aren't total repeats of other people's stuff. I wanted to just describe a little bit about some of these smells and about what to expect if you're thinking about checking out Abdul Karim Al Faransi's stuff. I'm not sure how helpful it is to say, but these smell unlike things that you're accustomed to smelling if you're a Western, cologne enthusiast. The smells coming from these products are different. They're old world, they're made out of other materials that are foreign to the nose, and so they smell really kind of unusual when you first get them. So I wouldn't be surprised if people who get these, not having smelled them in the store, could even be put off in some ways by the smells of them. This Baghdad is described on the website as being very incense-like and sort of woody. And I smell a bit of sort of barnyard, bit slightly sort of animalic, and maybe with a hint of, I guess that's rose probably, some kind of deep floral that's on the dark side for sure. My wife's not a big fan of any of these, even though she bought them for me. I guess it's because I asked for them for Christmas. So it's a little bit challenging to figure out sort of how to wear these. But to me, so I've made a couple of extracts of flowers from the yard, like rose from my front yard and some false, what is it called? False orange. It's a dogwood that have really nice smelling flowers, but that when soaked in alcohol, for example, end up extracting a lot of this green kind of vegetal kind of smell. And this sort of reminds me of those sorts of smells that you get. So it's not necessarily as bright and like synthetic floral as it is sort of that smell of the plant kind of, and the floral essence along with it. So anyway, Baghdad, it smells like jadamancy and maybe a hint of oud and a bit woody, and rose, and so those are the things I think that are on the website that describe it. This oud cuire, so that means leathery oud, is very, very thick. Look at that. It almost doesn't want to drip off of the dipstick, and it's quite viscous. Now this one starts off very animalic also. So if you like oud, you will probably like this. This one's a bit funny. It, I would say it has a hint of the kind of floral that's in like a majmua or something. One of those really kind of, it's got this tenacious floral character to it that sticks around for a really long time and gets almost like stronger as the hours go by, as you're wearing it, as the other things start to fade around it. So it starts off fairly animalic. As the animalic part starts to fade, it's more sort of into those nicer oud sort of jadamancy flavors, or smells. Again, with some rose, and I don't know if that's geranium or something like that, that's in there with it. As it all kind of mellows out a couple hours in, it does start to smell kind of leathery, which I guess is what you should expect. And I kind of like it actually, but it has been challenging for me. All of these have been a bit challenging for me to sort of wear for a bit and get used to. The Sheikh Al Faransi is another one So this one's a bit more expensive. It's not quite as viscous as that Oud Cuire. This has a lot more sort of floral and sort of, I get a bit more sort of incense, kind of like maybe more myrrh than frankincense. I'm gonna guess maybe a little bit of what do you call it? Cypress kind of oil, like that cedar ish. It's got some florals that do come out, and it has ambergris, as it says in the description. Ambergris is a funny thing to me. I kind of can't smell it half the time, and then sometimes when I smell it, it smells like old man's breath, which is kind of weird. But anyway, it seems to be in there. I'm sure it does kind of bring the smells together. It did smell a little funky like that for a bit, and then that sort of passed, and sort of it cycles through a lot of florals and incenses and woody for sure. Yeah, I mean, they're all growing on me, which is an interesting thing. But they may be challenging to the start. They may actually, I find a lot of these scents, mostly synthetics, but even some of these sort of more natural ones can be challenging on my windpipes as I inhale them. But anyway, these are quite cool. I'm wearing them more on the weekends and stuff now because I'm sort of just figuring out how that might sort of work in a work environment, and not to sort of overdo it and surprise people with a whole bunch of funky smells that maybe I'm getting desensitized to. So anyway, there we go. A quick overview of those three. There was one other scent that came in this package, and I don't even know which one it is. We're gonna have to look it up from the packing receipt, because I think it was either I think anyway, it was a smaller bottle, and it was just another one I think that my wife chose. So that's Baghdad, quite incensey, Sheikha Faransi, floral and ambergris and woody, etc., and Oud Cuire, which is quite barny animalic oud with sort of that leathery bent, and more sort of floral that does kick in. Hang on, that's less floral. I think it's the Baghdad that I was thinking. But sometimes these things actually, like if you sniff them right from the dipstick, you only get half the story. They really do change over time as they're on your skin. And look how thick that is. Anyway, that's that for now. Hope that helps somebody. Cheers.